Hello everyone, this is Christian Meyer, your realtor for life. I'm talking to you from Broward County, Florida, and if you're in the business or interested in purchasing or selling a home, please give me a call at 561-294-8981, or you can email me at homes@christianmeyerrealtor.com. Today I want to talk to new real estate agents, and this episode is called Expectations and Realizations. And just like the title says, our expectations are up here, and once we realize what actually is happening, it starts dropping down here. Don't let that discourage you. However, in order to make it in this business, because the statistics show us and tell us that over 80% in the first year will drop out. Quite a few of the people I went to take the course with to pass the exam are no longer realtors. Reason being is not that they don't have the mindset and they didn't want to succeed. They all wanted to. We all wanted to. One of the biggest hurdles is money. If you don't have money and you're not able to buy leads, advertise to some extent, it's very challenging. Of course, you also have your fees with a realtor board. You need your MLS, your super key, and your brokerage may or may not have a desk fee. So all those things involve money. And then you may not have an income for quite a while, which is the biggest reason that people drop. Most people do have some sort of money to invest. However, they don't have the amount of money it takes to sustain their household without an income. So if it takes, for example, training, with most brokerage firms, they'll tell you 2 to 3 months to learn the MLS, to learn how to write contracts, to negotiating, different things like that. So now you have no income for several months, and don't be fooled and say that you're going to make a deal here and there. It's not going to happen. If you think you're going to walk into a brokerage firm and they're just going to hand you leads, that's not how this business works. Unfortunately, you're your own business owner and you are on your own. So that being said, there is a choice you have to make in the beginning. One is a big brokerage, Keller Williams, Coldwell, 21st Century, so on and so forth, or small, as I call them, boutique brokerage firms, which typically offer their realtors 100% commission in some cases, 90%, no desk fee, some with desk fee but higher percentage. So that's the advantage. If you are established in real estate and you have a bunch of clients and you can generate business, then that may be the way to go. That's the way I went. I had a couple deals lined up. Even as I was going to school, I already had a deal lined up. So I want to monetize as much as I could. Was it the right decision in hindsight? Probably not. I had to learn everything myself, teach myself, from filling out a contract, which was tedious, and I had to constantly have someone else on the phone walking me through and probably making tons of mistakes. Whereas with a big company, yes, you're going to get considerably less money, but they are there. They have tons of training that is there. Your realtor board, of course, also offers training, and your brokerage should have become a member of the realtor board, which you could go to those different locations and get training. It's much easier when you're at one brokerage that's close to your house or where you want to farm, and you can work and learn from them. They're there to teach you, they're there to guide you, and the words babysit you. But it's well worth it. So those are the differences between boutiques and big ones. I definitely, starting out, would recommend not to focus so much on the money and focus on education and getting to know how things work. Last thing you want to do is look like a complete imbecile in front of a brand new client that you worked so hard to get, and they may drop you because of that reason. So that being said, the reasons that many of us fail is, again, you need a support system. You have to have either considerable finances, savings that is, or you have to have a spouse, girlfriend, a mother, someone that is willing to help you out with your bills until you're ready and you get your clients. Again, it's probably going to take 3 months, and then it takes a month for closing typically. So it could be 4 months, could be much more before you have your first client. Not to sound discouraging, but that's the reality of things. So that being said, if you're not able to afford being without an income for 4 months, then perhaps this is not the business for you. And that is the reason that so many of my classmates ended up going back to their previous careers. They just didn't have the financial backing. I myself was lucky in that regard. Next topic is using some of the money that you have in savings or that you're going to get from your spouse or girlfriend and buying and generating leads. Trying to figure which system works the best. Once you start Googling lead generation or you go on Facebook, next thing you'll know, you'll be bombarded. There's a billion different companies out there. I have no idea which ones work, don't work. My suggestion, honestly, is to stick with the big boys, Trulia, Zillow, and Realtor.com. I myself would probably prefer, say, Realtor.com just because of the name. Also, in my neighborhood, when you Google an address or something, Realtor.com seems to be, I'd say 75% of the time, to be above Trulia and Zillow in the Google listings. They're usually in the top, those 3 companies. I prefer Realtor.com, but to each his own. You have to have the person, I suggest you have some sort of a script or something ready to be prepared when you're engaging with potential customers that are looking to purchase a house. You can't be caught off guard or not know what to say. You have to be prepared. I suggest that you write yourself up a script. One thing that I do and that works excellent, and I highly recommend for anybody to use this technique, is my buyer loyalty program. In that, I give a portion of my commission at closing to the buyer that chooses to work with me. It's a big incentive for the buyer to continue working with you, as most people are going to be pretty much flat broke once they're done purchasing a house. So for them to know that they got some money coming there, or some gift cards, or however you decide to do it, is welcomed by anyone, I would think. I know I definitely would appreciate something like that, and it is perfectly legal. So that is one way. The other way, of course, when you're starting out and you're limited with money, is your sphere, your friends, and like-minded people, as people say. Go to clubs and things like that. Will it work? Eventually, yes, but it could be 2 years, 3 years when your friend or buddy of yours decides to be moving or purchasing a house, or even deciding to rent a different house. We don't have 2-3 years with no income. It just doesn't work that way. Cold calling, sure, you can try that, and you will have some success. Expired listings, also something you have to learn. That is, again, going with the big brokers. The little brokers will also take some time and teach you. The broker, the manager, whoever's there. Unfortunately, they're a much smaller team. There's way less people. So again, starting out, I highly recommend going with the big firms. You can always make that switch once you're established yourself. So yes, having your friends and relatives and like-minded people knowing about you is very important. Every single person that you meet, you should be taking down their email address and of course handing your business card to them. Many of my friends that are realtors tell me they don't use business cards, old-fashioned, this and that. I quite must disagree. I think if you have a business card that stands out and makes a statement, I think it's well worth it and people will remember. It's just like anything else. Even with postcards and flyers, if you're going to farm an area, just make sure you send out enough to the same building per se. Every month, remind people who you are. If you have a little slogan, more power to you. If you have a business card that's velvety or stands out from the rest of them, more power to you. So I want to wrap things up, but in a nutshell, our expectations, as I said, are here. And then you come to realize what this business is about. And then it's ultimately up to you. And unfortunately, as much as I hate to say this, a lot of it has to do on your wallet and being able to sustain yourself for 3 months or so, probably longer, until you hopefully get that first closing. When you do, it's a great victory. It's a good chunk of money, and you'll be able to go ahead and start buying leads. Sorry about that. A little cat just appeared. You'll be able to invest more into your business, such as Realtor.com or Trulia or Zillow, or buy some leads, whichever works for you. And of course, call the expired and all those things. Everything combined will get you on the right track. Stay positive. This wasn't anything to be discouraging. This is just reality. Again, Christian Meyer, your Realtor for life, 561-294-8981. Take care, guys.